What's up, YouTubers? It's Mike here. Please bear with me as I'm using a Magic Jack for a microphone, my cordless phone here, and trying to use this screen capture software, which will be a little slow, but anyhow, this is going to be one of the most important videos that I put out there. One of the most important. Why? Because I'm calling the earthquake, the New Madrid fault line. When I say I mean FEMA and the government are playing with the fault line using HAARP. For those like-minded people, you know what HAARP is. It's a high-frequency active auroral research program located in Alaska. Also, this is also in regards to the birds and the fish that are dying in the little town of Beebe, Arkansas, along with a few other towns in Louisiana and in Kentucky. And through the help of my friends, Jenny, thank you very much. She's the scientific end of all this. She subcontracts for the Department of Energy. Also, she subcontracts for the Air Force. Also, she puts together emergency training material for the government in regards to biological, chemical, nuclear attacks. Like I said, she's got 3 master's degrees. Smart gal, smart lady, and she's putting all this together, or at least helping me to put it all together. We've been making phone calls all day, back and forth, trying to put together some pieces here. And also, Christina, thank you very much. You know who you are. I know you sit at home a lot, but you use your time valuably, and you helped out quite a bit today. So I want to thank the 2 of you for helping me out. Anyways, let's get started. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The military's been planning national level exercises for the New Madrid fault line for quite some time now. And here I'm going to pull this up here real quick. Let's see. Excuse me if I stumble a little bit throughout this video. I've got a lot of information to go over. I'm not perfect, so bear with me. Anyways, here we are at FEMA's website, and this was released November the 20th, 2008, speaking of the New Madrid seismic zone catastrophic earthquake planning that's going on. Now, a couple of months ago, FEMA was out in Arkansas studying the fault line. Also, a couple of months ago, the Department of Energy put an APB out on any information pertinent or research pertinent to the New Madrid fault zone. And in other words, they were hoping that their employees would come up with stats, numbers, things of that nature, which they did. And so I find that kind of peculiar. And, when I first heard about the birds dropping in Arkansas, the first thing that popped in my mind was that fault line that's up there. Because I already know that HAARP is very capable of creating an earthquake. And, well, you have the instances where FEMA was FEMA was preparing and had their team out there doing the same drill down in Haiti 1 week prior to the earthquake in Haiti. They were also doing the same thing up in right before 9/11. So, anyways, this video is about me calling this earthquake because the national level exercises are going to take place along the New Madrid fault zone come May of this year. So basically what that's telling me is that they are going to be mobilizing their military equipment all along this fault zone so that when it happens, they're going to have the necessary equipment out there to impose martial law of some sort. You got to think about it, because if we have an earthquake on this fault zone, not only will it disrupt communication, but it's going to disrupt travel. It's almost going to split the majority of the United States from the central to the east coast, past the fault zone. It goes on into the west coast. It's going to be totally disrupted. It's going to be a lot of chaos, okay? And we know how these New World Order people work, the Illuminati. We know how they work. They're also keen on numbers. So keep an eye out for January the 11th of this year. I'm not sure what type of event we may be looking at, but that is one of their favorite numbers, 11, along with 33 and everything else. So, but I'm calling this right before May or right after May, because they're going to have all their chess pieces lined up, ready to go. Okay, and they're playing with this. Now we've had seismic activity all along this fault line, and even today there was an earthquake in Arkansas, a very small one, but still yet. It's kind of like they're using HAARP to test certain points of this fault line to see what they cannot accomplish, kind of like breaking a rusty bolt loose before you can finally just spin it free and take it off. So it's kind of like that. Anyways, I'm going to include this link here in the video details. There's going to be a lot of video details or a lot of links in the video details included that have to do with everything from the NLE exercises that are planned to the New Madrid, any information pertinent to the New Madrid fault line, and anything else. So if you want to look at these, these documents or web pages, please refer down to the more details section. So here it is. This is FEMA's plans to study this fault zone. Now let's move on. Let's go ahead and take you to the national level exercises that they're planning as well. And I think I may have closed that out, but let's go ahead and bring it up and see what we can pull up here. Okay, here we go. National level exercise 2011 fact sheet. Now, see, you'll have to excuse those messages. I apologize. It's kind of odd the setup that I have to make this video. But anyhow, moving on. I want to, like I said, this link will be up there for you guys to download. It's a PDF. However, I want to bring you down to the exercise focus. National level exercise 2011 will simulate the catastrophic nature of a major earthquake in the central United States region of the New Madrid seismic zone. The year 2011 is the bicentennial anniversary of the 1811, now here we go with them 11s, New Madrid earthquake, for which the New Madrid seismic zone is named. NLE 2011 will be the first NLE to simulate a natural hazard. That's bullshit. They want to put their pieces in play. Trust me, folks. NLE 2011 activities will take place at command posts, emergency operation centers, and other locations to include federal facilities in Washington, D.C. area and federal, regional, state, tribal, local, and private sector facilities in the 8 member states of the Central United States Earthquake Consortium. The 8 member states of the CUSEC encompass 4 different FEMA regions: Alabama, Kentucky, remember now, you got Kentucky in here, Mississippi, and Tennessee. FEMA region number 4. Illinois and Indiana, didn't we just have an earthquake up in Indiana, guys? That's FEMA region number 5. Arkansas, which we are having all the birds and whatnot fall dead there too, FEMA region number 6, and Missouri, which is FEMA region number 7. Moving down, let's see if there's anything else. That was the key part of this PDF that I wanted to read off to you. But anyways, you guys can download this and look this up for yourself. But they are planning for this. We already know that Dick Cheney was full of shit when he was at NORAD telling them fighter jets to stand down because they knew what was going to happen. They wanted it to happen. So you guys keep that in mind. Now let's move on to HAARP, because HAARP is what's causing all this. And Jenny, my friend Jenny, has a very good understanding of HAARP and its technology and how it works. And what I want to do is take you here to, let's see, I want to take you to a graph or a little picture that she sent me where she triangulated the 3 different places where animals are falling dead. And it's going to be very interesting to see what I got to show you. So just hold on with me here for a second. And this is in regards to angular correlation. Now, I don't know much about the technical aspects of how you would triangulate frequencies with HAARP, but she does. And naming the places where all the animals are dropping dead and whatnot, she came up with this. And she has a very good understanding of frequencies and antennas and things of that nature. And that's pretty much what this describes, is how HAARP can triangulate their frequencies. It's going to be very, very interesting, I promise you. Just hold your horses with me, folks. I know this is a little bit frustrating as slow as this is going. Okay. I'm trying to bring it to full screen for you guys here. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go. Now, up here on the upper left, we have the 3 places that have had incidences with dead birds. Gilbertsville, Kentucky. Then you have Beebe, Arkansas. And then you have LaBarre, Louisiana. Now, notice that when you draw a line from Gilbertsville to Beebe, Arkansas, Gilbertsville, Kentucky to Beebe, Arkansas, and then down to LaBarre, Louisiana, it creates a perfect 120-degree angle. The way she puts it, the 3 die-off locations are at a 120-degree angle from each other, and define the perimeter of the most active region of the New Madrid fault. The HAARP antennas calibrate signals using a 120-degree radiating angle from the center point. The digisonde computes comparative signal strength along each ray of the antenna for directional tuning. And then down here she has the miles from each place to each place. And then here is a diagram of the antenna array configuration for DDA software. So, how much of a coincidence is that? You have this 120-degree angle from all points of where we're finding dead animals, and that's how they tune their HAARP. Okay? Now, if you will also notice, let me bring up... Oh, my Lord. I swear I'm going to kill this phone. Anyways, let's escape out of this. I'm going to bring you to another image that shows you where BB is in regards to the fault line. So let's go to that. Here it is. Now, this is where BB is in comparison to the fault zone. This is one of the most active regions of the fault zone here. And here you have BB, Arkansas. This right here is the fault line, right there. That is the fault line. You'll see the rugged mountain range right there, things of that nature. That is the fault zone. And here you have BB, Arkansas. And look at what other big cities there are along this fault line. Memphis. Memphis is a pretty huge city. And most of the loss of life, if there were an earthquake to occur in this region, would be from Memphis. And another thing that we have to be concerned about if in an earthquake scenario, which the government really don't want to talk about, is Oak Ridge Laboratories. And Jenny does have a clearance to do any work at Oak Ridge if she's authorized to do anything. So in other words, if she has a project going on and it involves going down there, she's down there. So this woman knows what she's talking about, okay? Anyhow, if they were to have an earthquake and for some reason that structure underneath the mountains, underneath the ground of Tennessee were to be compromised, then we would be dealing with radiation levels that were just tremendous. There's tools and equipment down there that can never come back out of rooms, testing rooms, and see the light of day because they are so radioactive. They just can't open up the rooms. The rooms are sealed shut. They cannot let anything out of those rooms. So you have that to take into consideration. Also, you have a number of nuclear facilities along the along the New Madrid fault line. So there's going to be a number of problems with nuclear reactors, a very big possibility of Oak Ridge Laboratory being taken out. And so now we have to worry about fallout here. So we also know that HAARP and along with chemtrails, they can manipulate the jet stream and fronts. So basically, they could manipulate fallout when you think about it. Anyways, guys, I've been telling you it's time to get ready. Well, here's where them chemical suits, Geiger counters, gas masks, and radioactive pills, the iodine pills, and all that stuff comes in handy. Get up on some of this stuff because, excuse me, it's going to help you. Moving on. Let's go down here. I've got some more interesting stuff to talk about. Of course, I have to pull up the right page here to figure it out. Let's go ahead and close things out so I don't get so confused here anymore. All right, so let's bring this up. We're done with this, and we are done with this. We are done with that. We are done with the NLE fact sheet. All of this information will be available for you to look at. It's time to connect the dots, people. Let's see. Here's something else interesting. Thanks, Christina. HAARP has deleted all of its records from from January the 11th of 2010. Okay, here we go with that number 11 again. But anyhow, you can find this very interesting thread to read. There will be a link for it down in the video details. There's a reason why they're deleting these records. They don't want somebody to see something. And in order for them to maintain the public image of being just a small facility that does little research, they would have to delete major records in order, because people can just go in and file Freedom of Information Acts, and they're going to get this information. So, well, if they delete it, it's not there anymore to be gotten. So, you know, think about that. But anyways, it starts off with a very unusual deletion can be observed in the archive data of HAARP, instrument readings from the day before the Haiti earthquake. How coincidental. Okay? Anyhow, what it does is it shows you how to go through these websites and to find out that HAARP truly has deleted its records from January the 11th, 2010. This is not coincidence, folks. You know what killed them birds? You see, birds are very, very sensitive to electromagnetic forces. Okay? Think about that. Electricity as well. And when HAARP focuses energy off the ionosphere and it beams back down onto the planet. Okay, this is the focal point, the planet, where all this energy is coming down, and these frequencies and whatnot. If a bird flies into it, you know, it's pretty much like they've hit a brick wall. And Jenny pretty much staked it on her life today that when they did the autopsies of these birds, that they would find no evidence of any kind of disease or toxins or anything like that, which is true. So people got to ask themselves, how did these birds die? How did these birds die? All right, study the effect of electricity and birds don't like electricity. They fly low in storms because of the fact that storms generate so many electrical forces that they don't want to be near it, so they fly low. That's why they fly low in storms. These guys got hit with an all-of-a-sudden thing. They didn't know what was coming. Okay, all the birds that have dropped dead did not know what was coming. So check that link out. I'll have it in there as well for everybody to see. Also, a video here that I'm going to put up a link to in regards to Operation Garden Plot. Everybody needs to look at this. This is proof here. I'll post a link to it down in the more details section. You guys got to look into that. It's very, very important. Also, let me close this out and keep going with what we got here. Let's see here. There's, let's see, what do we got here? This is the FEMA seismic zone planning sheet. You already seen that. Then we have this PDF here, which I will include, that talks about the it's a New Madrid and Wash-Bosh Valley seismic study assessing the impacts on natural gas transmission pipelines and downstream markets by using NG-FAST. Now this is going to be a really interesting presentation for you guys to check out. It's going to outline some of the potential hazards if there was an earthquake to occur. Also, I have St. Charles County Division of Emergency Management preparedness for those who live along the fault line. You can actually look up on this page and get some tips and whatnot on how to deal with this earthquake if it comes. Okay, and I'm sure it's coming, because when FEMA gets involved and you got HAARP in the works, well, there's nothing but trouble. Also, here's some information which I'll present a link to you guys down in more info. It's a PDF about a conference in regards to the New Madrid fault line there. And what they talk about here is how many deaths are all the plausibles, everything that could possibly happen. They talk about. So they've been studying this. They know this one is bigger and worser than the San Andreas Fault in California. So you guys out in California, you can wipe your foreheads a little bit, all them beads of sweat, because it ain't coming there first. It's going to come here first. I can practically guarantee it. And also we have this page here that I'm going to link up to you. It was last updated in July of last year. And this is people's conversation, personal observations about what's going on along the New Madrid fault line. And I'll read off just a couple of sentences here. You guys can cipher it all out and read it for yourselves, but I think it's very interesting. This one says, "Is anyone following the tectonic pressure? Hello, Ray. I live on the New Madrid Fault, and I can tell you this. The surface rupture of the roads and highways is out of control. Also, every day of the week, the structure of my mom's home is cracking and shifting. You can hear the walls and the surface crack. Nearby is a Dollar General store. In that parking lot, there's 3 flagpoles that vibrate violently, not shaking from wind. Each and every day, the roads blow up potholes. US 41 is ruptured severely. Interstate 65 is also badly damaged. They keep trying to repave them, but it doesn't work. The Klein-Ave Bridge at points is closing. This bridge and off-ramps leads right into Inland Steel and LTB Steel and BP Amoco. So far, I believe 5 to 7 bridges have been shut down or are scheduled for closing because they are unsafe. I monitor the earthquakes daily, and as you know, there are far too many happening too quickly. I believe the general public has been misled. In my opinion, the 2012 shift is happening now, but everyone has been conditioned to believe that they will have some time to prepare for the main event. That's BS. It doesn't happen all at once. This guy has a point, and this is why I've been building my stocks and supplies for the last 3 or 4 years, just getting it in there. I've got plans to spend big money on next month on all kinds of things, from Geiger counters to just all kinds of other little nifty things, EMP protection, whatnot. You guys need to get ready for this. They're playing with this fault line. HAARP, FEMA, they're playing with it. And the evidence was right there in the triangulation on that map. If you guys don't believe me, do it yourself. And you know, I'll bring that up one more time for you guys to look at. But before I do, I have a piece of information here, a document that was presented to me by Jeannie. And basically, now you can see it's from the Department of the Army. I've been telling you guys, frequencies. You guys need to study up on Schumann resonance and Nikola Tesla's his experiments with frequencies and electricity. It's amazing. You know, Nikola Tesla died, and all of a sudden his laboratories got broken into and set on fire, and all of his research got stolen. Well, guess who got that? Our government. HAARP is based on Nikola Tesla's innovative ideas and his discoveries. Every bit of HAARP is based on that. Anyways, frequencies. Silent sound spread spectrum technology. You guys need to look into it. All of us are getting hit and harassed every day with electronic harassment. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Look up the silent sound spread spectrum technology. This right here is solid evidence that this is taking place. This is a declassified document from the Department of the Army that was obtained via Freedom of Information Act. Sorry about that, folks. But anyways, what I was told to do was go to page 6 of this document, which I will do here. Let's go to page 6 and see what it has to say. Okay. Now this has to do with HAARP and frequencies. Okay, let me find out. I'll just start off on the page here. Okay, and we'll just start reading. How about that? This technology is an adaptation of technology which has been around for many years. It is well known that microwaves can be used to heat objects. Not only is a microwave Not only is microwave technology used to cook foods, but it is also used as a directed source of heating in many industrial applications. It was even the subject of the Pound proposal a few years ago, in which the idea was to provide residential heating to people, not living space. Because of the apparently safe nature of body heating using microwave techniques, a variety of innovative uses of EM energy for human applications are being explored. The non-lethal, keyword, the non-lethal application would embody a highly sophisticated microwave assembly that can be used to project microwaves in order to provide a controlled heating of persons. This controlled heating will raise the core temperature of the individuals to a predetermined level to mimic a high fever, with the intent of gaining a psychological capability edge on the enemy while not inflicting deadly force. The concept of heating is straightforward. The challenge is to identify and produce the correct mix of frequencies and power levels needed to do the remote heating while not injuring specific organs in the individuals illuminated by the beam. Let's keep reading. This gets more interesting. A variety of factors contribute to the attractiveness of this non-lethal technology. First, it is based on well-known effect, heating. Every human is subject to the effects of heating. Therefore, it would have a predictability rating of 100%. The time to onset can probably be engineered to between 15 and 30 minutes. However, timing is the subject of additional Sorry about that, folks. Anyhow, where was I? However, timing is the subject of additional research to maximize heating while minimizing adverse effects of localized heating. The onset can be slow enough and or of such frequency to be unrecognized by the persons being irradiated. So, all right, that's key as well. Unrecognized. So you could be getting hit with this and not know it, okay? So anyhow, safety to innocence could be enhanced by the application and additional development of advanced sensor technologies. Incapacitation time could be extended to almost any desired period consistent with safety. Okay, let's go ahead and move down here a little bit. This is going to be a little slow, but there's a lot more that I want to go over. This is going to be just a little slow here. I'm looking for the part where they talk about tunability. There it is. Okay. Now remember, we're talking about frequencies. Tunability. This concept is tunable in that, I passed it. Hang on a second. Okay. This concept is tunable in that any rate of heating up to the maximum capacity of the source may be obtained. Thus, it is suitable for use in gradual force or rheostatic approach. If the situation allows and the source is sufficiently powerful, there is the possibility to use this technology in a lethal mode as well. Prolonged body temperature is above 43 degrees Celsius is almost certain to result in permanent damage to the brain and death. Now, distribution of human sensitivities to desired effects. Human sensitivities to desired effects. Okay, I spoke about last week about an article I read where the government can mimic the EEG brain patterns of the human body and actually replay them over UHF and VHF band waves to make your body react to whatever type of emotion or feeling that they want you to feel. Well, the switch to digital, we lost all of our UHF and VHF bands because now we're straight to digital. So where did those uses for those bands go? Let's read on. No reason has been identified to suggest that anyone would be immune to this technology. Individuals with compromised thermoregulatory mechanisms would be susceptible with a lower incident energy density. This would include people with organic damage to the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that integrates the autonomic mechanisms which control heat loss, as well as people with compromised somatic features of heat loss. All right, the technologies needed for the thermal technology concept are relatively well developed because of known biophysical mechanisms, the universal susceptibility of humans to the mechanism of heating, and because of well developed technology base for the production of radio frequency radiation. Okay? Now, once again, they can use these frequencies to do a lot more. Right here, it talks about just heating. Oh man, struggling to make this video, but you guys are bearing with me. I know you are. I know you're bearing with me. I'm sorry about that. I swear to God, I need to get a microphone. Forget the magic jack and my cordless phone. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at here is they can control the human body with frequencies. Not only the temperature of your body, but they can also control your mind. They can put voices in your heads. It actually talks about this in here. Let me just keep on going down here. It's going to take a minute because this is slow. I'm using the screen capture along with this. Okay. Now, possible influence on subjects. If the technology functions approximately as envisioned, the targeted individual could be incapacitated within 15 and 30 minutes. Because this technology is focused on a relatively slow onset, it should only be used in situations where speed is not important. The very uncomfortable nature of the high body temperature may be useful in negotiations or possibly for controlling crowds. It would be equally useful on single persons or crowds. Evidence also indicates a disruption of working memory. Thus, disorientation may occur because of an inability to consolidate memory of recent past. Let's keep going here. This gets more interesting. Let's skip the technological status of generator aiming device. Okay. Now, for those of you who know about the ringing in the ears, I hear it all the time. People across the country hear it all the time. And we have this new onslaught of homeopathic medicines that will take care of so-called tinnitus. Okay? This is for my friend who made a comment in my other video about the hearing, the ringing, because I hear it all the time. It's not tinnitus. I have excellent hearing. This talks about the incapacitating effect of microwave hearing. And when you read this paragraph with me, I want you to go look for the commercial for tinnitus on YouTube. And then go back to reading this paragraph. It's gonna flip you out. Microwave hearing is a phenomenon described by human observers as the sensations of buzzing, ticking, hissing, or white noise, or knocking sounds that originate within or immediately behind the head. There is no sound propagating through the air like normal sound. This technology, in its crudest form, can be used to distract individuals. If refined, it could also be used to communicate with hostages or hostage takers directly by Morse code or other message systems, possibly even by voice communication. In other words, they can put voices in your heads without the use of a microphone or any other audible sounds that anybody else could hear, only you. And it also talks about this. I could go on and on in this article. Let's see here. One more. I'm going to read one more. Let's see. I'd like to read one more paragraph if it pulls up properly here. I swear. Okay. Well, it's brought me up here. Anyways, this is going to be available for download. You guys really need to look into this, all right? Here's your first step to learning what these guys are doing to us on a daily basis. The switch to digital gave them every single avenue to use this technology on us, from video games to cell phones to the TV in your living room to the laptop or computer you're probably looking at right now. There is so much more you guys need to learn about. Anyways, the main focus of this video, those along the New Madrid fault line, beware, okay? I'm here to tell you that these folks ain't playing games with us. If you want to go back and look at that triangulation chart, just rewind on the video and pause it, because I really don't have a lot of time to go back with this slow mode on this software and with this software running and pull it up for you. But it's there. I'll include all these links. You guys need to do some study. Something big is up. And for all those news media outlets in Arkansas, kiss my ass, because I tried to contact. I tried to contact every single media outlet I could, and for some reason they think, well, this guy's coming off as a nut job. Even though I did offer for them to speak with somebody who is qualified to speak about this technology, they don't want to hear it. Well, when the earthquake comes, there it is. I told you so, and I'll send them a copy of my video. But anyhow, you guys take it easy. I've got a big deal coming up here in about 2 or 3 days. I want you guys to be on the lookout for it. I can't give the information away, but I can give it to you for a flat rate discount, because number one, I'd have to put it on DVD. Too big to upload to the internet for y'all to download. So number two, gas ain't free, and we all know that. So, but I think each and every one of you will be interested. Anyhow, if you have any questions in regard to any of this information, please ask Jenny in this video. Just make it a point to say this question is for Jenny and ask away, because you're going to get answers. If you have difficulty understanding what we're talking about here, which I do all the time, I ask Jenny. She'll be the one to sit there and break it down for you. See, the thing about it is, shills and trolls out there, they know that the average intelligence of all of us depends on where our avenues of research were as we were growing up. Well, our research, for the most part, wasn't in science and electromagnetics and nuclear and physics and all of that stuff. Well, and that's how come they can pull it off to make it look like they know about the things that they're talking about. The things we talk about are not true. Why do you think the government wants to take over the internet? Why do you think the government wants to make conspiracy sites and things of that nature illegal? Because we keep just on the heels. We're on their heels, and they don't like it. They don't like being watched. They don't like us knowing what we know. It's time, folks. It's time to start preparing. I'm telling you right now, man, we're in the middle of so much drama right now. It's unreal. I'm not trying to scare anybody either. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just trying to give you the gift of the knowledge that I have in regards to survival gear and learning how to deal with. Prepare yourself ahead of time for such an event, because you're going to need your nerves and your calm nature when this happens. You guys be good. I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.